Hello grade 6, wish you are good and safe. Today we will complete science sessions, but not in the recap sheet. We will take today a new lesson of the new year curriculum, which is talking about the mass and weight. The first unit, the first lesson, the first unit called force and motion, of the first lesson, mass and weight. And today in the first session, I need you to focus with me and get interested for this new year. And let's start. Mass. What about the mass? Okay. To talk about first of all, to talk about the mass, you need to know what the meaning of matter. Matter is anything around us we can hold, you can carry. It has mass and takes up space. This is called a matter. And because a matter has a mass, so the mass is the amount of matter in any object. Like, if you got a table, a wooden table, and I asked you about the mass of this table, you would tell me that the mass of table is the amount of wood inside this wooden table. If you got a glass cup, and I told you what's the mass of this glass cup, you would tell me this meaning the amount of glass inside the cup. Okay, this is called mass. Mass is the amount of matter in any object, and the measuring units of the mass are gram. The meaning of gram is, it's like the paper clip. Do you know the paper clip? This is 1 gram. So the gram is the measuring unit of the small masses. The measuring unit of the small masses, like jewelries, rings, golden things. Okay. And the measuring tool they give me, the gram, is that part, the sensitive balance. Okay. And kilogram, which is used for measuring the large masses like vegetables or fruits, they are all large masses. Ton is used for the measuring of big masses and very, very big masses like metals. Okay, so 1 kilogram equal 1,000 grams and 1 ton equal 1,000 kilograms. So the 1 kilograms equal 1 liter. 1 liter. So how can we measure the mass? We can measure the mass using the measuring tools of mass. The measuring tools of mass are scales, and we have many different things of the scales. That one, the sensitive scale. This sensitive scale, it's made for small masses which need an accurate scale, like gold, chemicals, they are all sensitive. So the sensitive scale, which is this. The other one, the balance scale. Balance scale is like that one, we call it 2-pound scale. Many times we call it 2-pound scale. So this balance scale, and which is we can see everywhere on the groceries and for measure the unit, the mass of measuring the mass of vegetables or fruits. And here, 1 arm digital scale, we call it a scale with a pointer. Scale with pointer, or 1 arm digital scale. And here's another sensitive scale. Okay, this is about the mass. We say that a mass, we measure it by grams and kilograms. Remember, the mass, not the weight. So what is a weight? The weight is a force. We can make a simple experiment to get the meaning of weight. You can hold anything around you, pick it up in your hand and try to leave it. But I prefer it was a paper or a tissue to be light. When this tissue or a paper falling on the floor, you see that there's something attracted it to earth, which is its weight. It's weight that attracted the thing to earth. Like it's a force. It's a kind of force which with the body is attracted to earth. And the force that attract anything to earth is called gravitational force. Gravitational force. So gravitational force by which is the body attracted to earth. Okay? So the effective weight is always directed towards to the earth. Why? Because it's everything we throw, it's going attracted to the earth. This means the gravitational force, the gravity. Gravitational come from gravity. Gravitational force that attracts anything, whatever it is, towards the center of earth. Then we have the measuring units of weight. It's not kilogram. Measuring units of weight is not kilogram, but it's Newton. The measuring unit of weight, again, not kilogram, not grams, not this all, it's Newton. So what is a Newton? Newton is a measuring unit of weight, and it's almost equal to the weight of an object on the Earth's surface, whose has a mass equal 100 grams. I will tell you what exactly mean the Newton. Do you know the apple? The apple weighs 100 grams. So we can get the apple equal 1 Newton. Can you remember the Newton's story? Newton's story, it said that Newton was a scientist and he sat under a tree, and suddenly he found that while Newton sitting to the tree, he found that there is an apple falls down. When he thought with himself, well, why this apple fall down, not up? Then he discovered that there is a gravity, which is a gravitational force that's attracted anything to the center of the earth. So he said, so the apple weighs 100 grams. Then 100 grams called Newton. This is the relation between 100 grams and Newton. So always connect them to your mind with this the same. Newton is a measuring unit of weight that almost equal the weight of an object on the Earth's surface who has a mass equal 100 grams. Okay, so what the meant by the mass of the small apple equal 200 grams. This means that it weighs 2 Newton. Okay. So, or you can say that this means that the weight or the gravitational force of the apple equal to Newton. That means it weighs 2 Newton. How do we measure the weight? The weight of any object can be measured by the spring scale. What is a spring scale? This is the shape of a spring scale. Do you see? The spring scale we hang here. Here we hang the weights, and then we read here we find the read by units. Okay, so this is the spring scale, and there's factors that affect on weight: the object's mass. The weight of any object on Earth's surface increase by increasing the object's mass. I mean, the weight equal mass by 10, or mass times 10. So the increasing of weight equal increasing of mass. The same as here. When the mass of any object increases, its weight increases. So the planet, whatever its place, where the objects exist, the meaning object's weight on Earth is equal to 6 Newton. So the object's weight on Moon's surface to 1 Newton. In another way, we can say that the object's weight on Moon 1/6 its weight on Earth. For example, if I'm weight 600 weight, if I weigh 600 grams on Earth, so if I'm weight on Earth 600 newtons, that means I'm weight on Moon 100 newtons. Okay, this is the relation that the Moon 1/6 of the Earth, of the weight on Earth. So the other thing that affected on the Earth, affected on the weight, is the distance between the object and its center of the planet. I mean, the Earth's gravitational force decreases as the body moves away from the center of the Earth. I mean, when you go up, more up and up and up, your gravitational force of Earth is coming lower. Okay, when you go more up, the more lower gravitational force you affected on you. And here's some point of comparison between the mass and weight. So the mass, let's revise what we have talked. The mass is the amount of matter in any object, and the weight is the force with which the body is attracted to the Earth. The measuring units, mass, we measure the mass by units like gram, kilogram, and ton, and we measure the weight by Newton. And the device of measurements, or the measuring tools, on mass we use measuring tools like balance scale, sensitive 2-arm scale, and 1-arm digital scale, and 1-arm scale with pointer. But the weight has only one device to be measured by, which is a spring scale. Direction. There's no direction of the mass. I mean, the mass of anything on Earth, it's equal its mass on the planet, another planet like Mars or Venus or even Moon. The place isn't a condition. It doesn't change the mass. But the weight, no, it's affected, and the weight, it's towards to the center of the Earth. So affected by the places, it's constant. So the mass of anything is constant, whatever its place. Whatever you measure it on Moon or Mars or Venus, as we said, or even in Earth, they are all constant in its mass. But weight, it's a change from a planet to another planet. Okay, that's for today about the mass and weight. So let's now take some exercises. What's meant by mass? Mass, it's the amount of any object, the amount of matter in any object. Gram, it is the measuring unit of the mass, and it's used to measure the small masses like jewelries or chemicals. Okay, kilogram. So it's a measuring unit of the mass, and it's used for measure the big masses like fruits or vegetables. Okay, weight. Weight is the gravitational force that attracts anybody towards to the center of the Earth. Newton. Well, Newton, remember or no? Well, it equals the measuring units of the weight, and its weight 100 grams, like an apple, almost in the weight of apple. So this for today. Thanks guys, and see you next session. Goodbye.